Welcome to Bridges to Alignment with Britt Bridges, Wellness Reimagined. This is a safe, transformative space where we explore energy healing, natural wellness, and the connection between mind, body, and soul. Through light, sound, and intention, you'll discover practical ways to align your energy, heal from within, and reconnect with your deepest self. This is your bridge to healing. This is your bridge to alignment.
Hello, and welcome to Bridges to Alignment, Wellness Reimagined. Britt Bridges here, your host, and oh my goodness, I am just so excited that you're here. I think we're on, we're in the teens now of our episodes, so this is just so exciting. It's been such a really awesome journey, and I'm just thankful that for those of you that are returning, that you're returning to this content, and this truly is an activation for you. And for those new viewers, thank you for being here. Drop us a line, tell us where you're from, what caught your attention to this podcast, and what are some of the different energy healing topics that you would like to see in the future, guys, because I am an open book, and we operate around here as everything is energy, and this is not woo-woo talking here. This is literally based on the principles of quantum physics, that everything is light and sound. Everything is scalar waves of light and sound, and those scalar waves of light and sound vibrate at certain frequencies that then form matter. And that is how we can touch and see and feel everything in our three-dimensional world that we are physically in at this moment. But being mindful that we are multidimensional beings and that we are not limited just to this three-dimensional reality, that we actually can access multi-dimensions, which we're going to talk more about today. I thought today we'd do something a little different. I wanted to talk more about the energy forecast, what's going on in the energetic field. I have received some channeled messages from higher power, divine, that I was informed needed to be delivered to you, beautiful souls. So get comfortable, grab a beverage, find a seat, because we're going to spend the next half hour together and just talk about what's going on in the energy field and why maybe you've been feeling quite a bit of I would say, an emotional roller coaster. It's been an emotional roller coaster for all of us. And that has a lot to do with the energy that is flowing to us from the sun, from higher power source, from Mother Gaia. All these things are alive and impacting us. So just know that these are things that we're going to talk about today. And if you have any further questions, you can reach me on Instagram at willowwell_wellness community and direct message me there. Or you can go to my website, willowwell.org, and I have a community tab where you can join my community or you can message me directly. So love to deep dive more into this with you if you have any further questions. Of course, you can always drop comments below. Let me know if, you have any questions about what we're talking about today. And I do invite you, as I do every week, to have an open mind, okay? Here in a moment, we're actually going to do a quick breathing exercise to put our bodies into a state of relaxation. We're going to regulate our nervous system, take it out of fight or flight, because when our nervous system is regulated, we actually can receive information more readily and more easily and allow that to integrate into us with ease without resistance, essentially. And so that's why it's important that we always operate out of that place of parasympathetic nervous system state, or that state of a regulated nervous system. I know you probably hear a lot about that. You know, everybody's talking about it. This is not new information. This is not new knowledge, but our nervous system is literally part of our electrical body. We are electrical beings, and our nervous system runs up our spine and affects every single part of our body. It is connected to every single part of our body. So when it's dysregulated, you can imagine that it's pulsating out electricity to all parts of your body and causing that discomfort. So here in a moment, we're going to go ahead and put ourselves into a calm receiving state. But before then, I always like to say, take what resonates and leave the rest. If there's something that you hear today that you're like, I don't know if I agree with that. I'm not sure that that's something I subscribe to. Wonderful, beautiful. Please use your discernment. That is a beautiful thing. In any content that you are consuming, it is highly recommended that you use your intuition, your discernment, to decide if that is your truth or not. However, I do invite you that if there is something that strikes a chord with you that you're listening to, that you're like, I don't know if I subscribe to that. You know, if there's uncertainty, that you go into prayer or meditation and you tap into higher power and your higher self, and you find out if that is your truth, because you may find that you questioning it is only encouraging you to deep dive inwardly deeper to see if it's your truth. All right, guys. So let's get comfortable. I always like to introduce different nervous system regulation tools every week. So this week, I want to introduce a breathing technique that I use regularly. I love it. And you can alter it. You know, the counts you can alter. You can make it your own, whatever is best for you, especially given your time limitations. But essentially, we're going to do some box breathing right now. Drop a line below in the comments. Are you familiar with box breathing? Do you use this technique? And what is your favorite breathing technique? Because, you know, I don't know all of them. I just have a few that I like to tap into because they're very effective. And this is one. All right, so let's get comfortable. Go ahead and do a couple shoulder rolls. We like to carry a lot of our emotions in our neck and shoulders. Roll your neck around gently a few times. We also like to hold a lot of tension and emotions in our jaw. So go ahead and stretch your jaw. And to the right. And to the left. Awesome. All right. And you can do a little shaky, 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 because as I mentioned before, we are energetic beings. We literally have a magnetic field, an electromagnetic field around our body, also known as an aura. And that electromagnetic field is essentially a microcosm of the macrocosm of Earth, because as you know, Earth also has an electromagnetic field. It has two poles, North Pole and a South Pole, a positive and a negative. And we, my friends, are no different than our planet that we're living on. And so it's important that we are moving our body, because our organs and our bodily systems and the fascia within our bodies and our nervous system and all of our organs, there's something called piezoelectric. And I encourage you to look it up, but it essentially states that our bodily systems and organs are actually electrical, and they're powered by electricity, which is why we drink water, because water is conductive and it helps to send electricity into our body, the same as why it's recommended that we eat nutrient-dense foods from our planet, because that is grown on Mother Gaia and Earth, which is an electromagnetic creation as well. And so those minerals, right, the nutrients and the minerals within the food and within the water power our body and our electrical system. Okay. So yeah, just move around. We should be feeling a little bit more relaxed. All right. So anytime that I am connecting in to breath work or connecting into higher power, I like to create something called heart-brain coherence. And that's essentially when we connect our heart chakra to our brain or our third eye chakra. And what I do is I'll think of something in my heart that makes me so happy. It could be a place for me, in nature. It's my personal sanctuary in nature. That's where I go. But for you, it could be a person. It could be a thing that just fills your heart with so much love and joy. So I want you to close your eyes now and imagine that thing and focus your attention onto your heart. Place your right hand or your left hand over your heart. And I want you to imagine that thing now. And then I want you to imagine a light in your heart just activating and turning on as you think of that thing that brings you joy and unconditional love. And then I want you to imagine your brain and your third eye. Your third eye sits between your two eyeballs, your eyebrows. I want you to imagine golden light shining from above, from higher power into your third eye. And as that's lighting up your pineal gland or your third eye, I want you to imagine an infinity symbol connecting your heart to your third eye or your pineal gland. And just imagine that infinity symbol going around a few times, and you'll start to feel them fusing together. And you can set the intentions. Higher power, God, I set the intention to connect my heart chakra and my third eye chakra to create heart-brain coherence. Whatever works for you, whatever. There's no law, there's no specific way. And that's one thing I want you guys to always learn from my podcasts and all the content that I share, is that there is no right or wrong way of doing any of this energy work. It is whatever resonates with you, whatever works for you. Because if you're trying to force something here, it isn't going to have the positive effect energetically that you're looking for. We're all about flow here, okay? So whatever you need to say to connect the two, you can literally just say, God, higher power, whoever, you tap into as your source, connect my heart and brain now and allow me to make decisions from this place throughout my day. All right. Now that we're connected, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little box breathing. So how box breathing works is we're going to take a deep breath in for about, let's do feeling the number 7. So we're going to take a deep breath in for 7 seconds. We're going to hold it for 7 seconds. We're going to exhale for 7 seconds. And then we're going to pause at the bottom of that breath for 7 seconds. And then we're going to repeat it. So as you can see, right, it creates a box. That's why they call it box breathing. And I'm going to go ahead and guide you. So here we go. Go ahead and take a deep belly breath in now. Hold 7 seconds. Exhale 7 seconds. And hold there at the bottom 7 seconds. And go ahead and inhale 7 seconds. And hold 7 seconds. And exhale 7 seconds. And hold at the bottom 7 seconds. And we're going to do this one more time. Inhale 7 seconds. Hold 7 seconds. Exhale 7 seconds. And hold 7 seconds. Wonderful. And remember, you can do this for as long as you need. I typically do it in sets of 3 when I'm in a hurry because it's just a quick couple minutes and I start to feel that light, airy feeling, start to feel less resistance in the body. I know I'm feeling that right now. I hope you are too. I'm sending you energy as well to raise your frequency, to help to regulate your nervous system, to continue to promote flow through your energetic body and allow that energy to flow through you now. Allow your higher self to accept that energy that is flowing through your body. All right. Now that we are in a relaxed mode, a receiving mode, we're going to go ahead and talk about the energy and what in the world is going on right now energetically on our planet. You often hear me talk about the Great Awakening or ascension on this planet. And where this is coming from is a lot of sources, namely higher power, but also there are actual principles in astrology, if you follow astrology. And astrology is ancient, my friends. This has been around very, 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 very long time. And on the astrological timelines, we have something called the Great Ages. And these Great Ages typically last approximately 27,000 years or so. And within those 27,000 years, we have something called ages. And those ages are approximately 2,600 years. And those ages line up with the wheel of astrology. And, astrology essentially comes from the stars, right? The celestial system. I mean, astrology isn't just made up. All you have to do is go outside, look up at the stars, and you'll literally see the astrological symbols in the sky. And my friends, we are actually made from the same material as the stars, which is so fascinating, right? Because when you think of it down to that very simple understanding, and when I say simple understanding, but it goes so much deeper, right? But when you really just kind of look at it from that perspective, that wow, I am literally made from the same elements that the stars are made out of, right? So we must be connected. And so right now, on the current astrology calendar, we have entered an age called the Age of Aquarius. And on the Age of Aquarius, this essentially is part of the ascension of the planet, meaning we are ascending in consciousness. Because if you go and look back historically at all the events that have occurred, and I say all the events that have been written, but really you can tap in even deeper into the events that have occurred on this planet by tapping into your Akashic records. And that is something that if you ever are interested in learning about, we can tap in further. But we're actually going to take a pause right now. We're going to hear from our local sponsors and we'll be right back.
Sponsored by Maryland Lottery. Tons of ways to win. Hot scratch-offs like big money where a $5 ticket could net you $50,000 or the $2 Monopoly ticket with a top prize of $10,000. Go to mdlottery.com for all the details. Plus, you can download the app and scan your tickets to see if you're a winner. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly. Sponsored by Atlas Wood Floors. Serving the area for more than 34 years. Wood floors, luxury vinyl plank. Anything that you put on your floor, they can handle it. Check out their Google reviews and give them a call today. 301-948-9663. That's 301-948. Wood. Be sure to ask for Jeff Koger or go to atlaswoodfloors.net.
Welcome back. So yeah, Akashic Records is essentially a record of everything that has occurred. We could tap into the Akashic Records of the planet. You can tap into the Akashic Records of your soul. And it's a record of everything that's ever occurred in all your incarnations of existence. Because remember, guys, energy never dies. It never ends. It just continues and continues and continues. And that's no different than humans because we're energy as well. Or I say our souls. And so essentially, we're in the Age of Aquarius. And the Age of Aquarius is all about community, truths being revealed, raising in emotional intelligence, embracing technology, finding a balance between humans and technology that will assist in the advancement of our civilization. And we've moved out of the age of Pisces. In the age of Pisces, we experienced more wars and more just more negative, darker things and control systems and things like that. So we're right on track, right? We're starting to reform. We're starting to demand more, right? More healthier things for our lives. We're starting to want reform within our systems. We're starting to want more freedom because we're realizing that with some of these systems, we weren't really free. And so it's a beautiful incarnation to be here on this planet right now because you, my friends, especially if this video is aligning with you, have a great purpose in contributing to the rise of humanity, the rise of consciousness. And there are several things that are contributing to the rise of our consciousness, and that is our sun. Our sun is very, very important, plays an important role in the rise of our consciousness because we are light and sound, and we are essentially a fractal of light from our creator, from the divine, from light. And so the sun is actually our source of life. It powers us. It's constantly sending us light codes that is upgrading our system, that is providing nutrients that our body needs, that's providing the upliftment that we need to rise in this current age of Aquarius. And so it's important that you are getting out in the sun, my friends, and you are sun gazing and you are looking at the sun at your comfort level. I always recommend sunset, sunrise, but again, use your discernment. Whatever you feel is right for you is right for you. But allowing the sun codes to upgrade your system, upgrade your DNA, upgrade your electromagnetic body. And our DNA, within our DNA, it houses information. It houses everything that our bodies need to heal themselves, everything our bodies need to rise in consciousness. And so when you speak to your body, especially when you go into the sun and you say, body, I accept these light codes coming in to expand my consciousness, to expand the light within my field, to help me to rise in consciousness and step into my power and my purpose here on this planet. Have an active conversation with yourself, an active conversation with allowing those light codes to enter your body, and it will assist you and help you with handling these, turbulent energies that we're feeling. Because right now the sun is blasting solar flares. What's happening is the sun is very active right now, and there's a lot of eruptions called coronal mass ejections that are occurring. And you can Google this, and it's so cool to see the imagery of the sun literally just having these pockets that explode. And you can see the radiation and the plasma and the light codes that are flying off of the sun. And when it's facing the earth, it hits the earth. And that is all information and data and light that is upgrading us as a human race, as a human being. And so a way that you can follow these eruptions is literally a simple Google search. I also have an app called Earthbeat. I'll drop it in the comments, this app, but I think I paid $3, and it actually gives me like an update every day of the solar climate, what's happening. And then it also has something called the Schumann resonance. And this is what the Schumann resonance looks like. And the Schumann resonance is essentially the Earth's heartbeat. Because remember, I had mentioned earlier that the Earth has an electromagnetic field, just like our bodies, the electromagnetic field around our bodies. Then we have our North Pole and our South Pole. We have the positive and the negative, and we have all these scalar waves of light and sound constantly flowing around us. That's the same as planet Earth. And on planet Earth, what happens is this energy that is coming into Earth, there's like an ionosphere around it, and it's coming in, and it's essentially through lightning, because lightning is electric. That lightning is sending pulses and electrical energy, and also through light codes, into the planet, into Mother Gaia. And Mother Gaia is actually, then we call this Schumann resonance the heartbeat of the planet, of Mother Gaia. And it actually produces on this scale the different electromagnetic waves that are coming in. And you can see, this was just like last week, how active it is. I mean, this is just so much energy coming in. So that's affecting you. That's affecting your emotions. That's affecting your moods. And that's because it's literally blasting high frequency light and plasma into your body to raise your frequency, to expand the light within you, to expand your consciousness. And that's uncomfortable, guys. It is, because what it's doing is it's forcing you to release what is no longer serving you. That's how we expand. Okay, that's how we expand in consciousness. That's how we raise in emotional intelligence. That's how we get better and smarter every day, is by releasing things that aren't serving us, to make space for this new energy and light to enter our fields, to expand our intelligence. So this then ties into everything we talk about on this podcast, which is, emotional regulation. Getting a handle on your emotions, guys, because what's happening is when our body stores emotions means energy in motion. It's meant to literally be in motion, emotions are. And when we don't allow those emotions to flow in and out of us, they get stored and stuck within our energy body. And that then causes blockages. And it causes imbalances within our energetic field, which is when we get really uncomfortable, which is when we get really moody, which is when we get dis-ease in our body. It manifests as physical problems within our energetic and physical body, guys. And so that's why it's important that we are visiting past traumas and we are working through those traumas. And you can do that. We do that here at willowwell.org. This is a safe space. Willowwell.org, that's funny. We do this at Willowwell. You can find my services at willowwell.org. We also have workshops that assist you with understanding the energetic body, understanding the energy chakras within our body, and how to release and clear emotions out of the energetic body. But if you ever wanted to work one-on-one, this is a safe space to do that, where we basically will go and visit. We'll tap into your energy body. We'll find where you have blockages within your field. We'll then take a deep dive into the origins of those stuck and stagnant and imbalances within your energetic field. Where are those emotions or negative belief systems coming from? We'll tackle those. We'll transmute that energy, because when you're working with energy, transmutation is the most important thing. And if you go back a couple episodes, it's titled Transmutation. We talk about how to transmute energy. But essentially, it's taking low frequency energy and transmuting into high frequency energy. So that way you can move from a victim state to a victor state. So you can take your power back and authority of your life and start aligning with your purpose and rising above whatever circumstances have occurred in your life. Because I just want to leave it with this, with transmutation. Think about energy. Energy never dies. It continues, right? It has no end. So if you're not addressing trauma and past pain and suffering and, just things that have occurred in your life that have been low frequency, if you're not addressing those, that loop continues. It's just a constant loop that continues until you visit it. You show it the love it needs. You transmute that energy into divine love, light, peace, harmony, joy, abundance, whatever it is. And then you can have closure on that. And you redirect that energy into something else positive. That right there is alchemy. That right there is transmutation. And you're transmuting that energy. And that's what we can do together if you need support. So taking everything we talked about today, I know that was a lot. I know that's a lot to integrate. But the takeaways are, be open to receiving this energy from the sun, but be an active participant in it and ask that you're receiving this upgraded energy and that it is integrating into your body with ease, with peace, with harmony. The second thing is releasing any stuck or stagnant or toxic things from your life to make space for this new energy coming in. And the third would be embrace this ascension process. Understand and know this is happening for you, not against you. This is for your highest and greatest good. Because when we rise in consciousness and we take our power back and we vibrate at a higher frequency, it is aligning us with our highest and greatest timeline. And you are worthy of that. You are worthy of all the divine, unconditional love, light, peace, harmony, joy that our higher power source provides to us. If you need support, you know where to find me. I thank everybody here at Everything Frederick Live. Please subscribe to this podcast. Please find me on Instagram at Willowwell Wellness Community. Join my community on my website, and we will see you in the next episode. Meditate, meditate, meditate. I love you so much.
Thanks for joining Britt Bridges on Bridges to Alignment. If this message spoke to you, be sure to like and subscribe for more conversations on energy healing, natural wellness, and living in alignment with your highest self. Bridges to Alignment is proudly part of the Everything Frederick Live podcast network and can be rewatched anytime on the Everything Frederick Live YouTube channel. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and keep aligning with the life you were meant to live.
This episode is a proud production of the Everything Frederick Live podcast network. Your home for Frederick's best podcasts, streaming daily on YouTube.